special guest is Joey Yak, the studio CEO.
That's right.
Welcome, my friend.
What's going on?
All right, we're bringing Joey in here today. We're gonna, rattle off some questions for you, and then we're gonna let you talk about what you do and how you help businesses grow. So, first thing off the top of my head, before this Corona thing hit, what was your go-to meal at your favorite local restaurant spot?
Oh, easy. Kelly Donuts. It's a local shop, but I don't get donuts. I get 2 croissants, sausage, extra cheese. Man, I just went over there actually and gave them $100 and said, pay it forward. Like, I'm a straight brand ambassador for their croissants. I'll pay people to eat their croissants. It's so damn good. That's my local shop, local spot go-to.
All right. Let me tell you a little something about where I'm at here in Iowa. We have a bakery that makes croissants filled with whipped cream type filling, like you get in a donut, but then they dip it in powdered sugar. So it's a croissant filled with cream dipped in powdered sugar.
Sounds like a dangerous item to talk to mess with.
It's called Tiffany's Bakery, and they ship those things all over the world. I mean, people from all over the world order them and they ship them to them, and it's a crack, man.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
They're ridiculous. All right, man. So tell us a little bit about what you do and what your favorite part of your job is.
All right, look. So my name is Joey Yak, like he said, and Yak stands for you already know. That's my thing. That's been my thing. You already know, and if you don't know by the end of this episode, you probably never will. What I do is create custom theme songs, podcast intros. I create edutainment where you're educating your customers while I'm entertaining them at the same damn time. So I'm here to help people get attention, get a brand awareness. When they run ads, a lot of people are running ads, but they don't have good content, right? So it's my job to make sure that people aren't boring or cheesy. I tell people I don't make jingles, I make bangers. And I think the best part of what I do is putting my melody to someone's message, man. Like, I do a lot of stuff. I can talk about your services. I can talk about anything, but my favorite one is doing a custom theme song about your life. And like my ideal client will, after he hears it, reaches back and just says, holy fuck, I'm crying right now. Just for the simple fact of he's never heard his story told to him by somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And it just freaks them out. And they're just like, wow, this is insane. That's probably my favorite part. But I know it's just a beautiful thing that being able to put my melody to someone's message, man, like music creates the sound of a feeling. Right. And I know how important that is. And I know how much, your message isn't designed to create emotion, but music, the sound of a feeling does. So it's one of those things when you put a melody to a message, it's just a powerful thing, man. And I feel it in my soul. And I'm just blessed that I found my way to, it took a very long time to find out, and you never know what you're going to do. And we'll probably get into all that deep type of shit, but that's where I'm at, man. It's my melody, your message. It's just a blessing that I'm able to do that.
All right. So normally I ask people in the business of mortgage or real estate, something they wish they knew, now that they didn't know when they got started in the business. But you tell us something you wish you knew about life.
Yeah. So I mean, life, business, everything. The day that I figured out I'm never gonna have it all figured out is actually when I figured it all out, right? And I heard that one day, and like, I never used to be spiritual back in the day, but I am now. And I heard that when you figure it out, you'll never have it figured out is when you figured it all out. And it was so deep and meaningful to me because I used to stress, like, why am I not here? Why am I not there? And one thing that we need to always know is like trusting in God's will. You don't have to believe in God, but trusting where you are right now, because one thing plus one thing plus one thing equals the thing. You never, like, we're always expanding. So the whole purpose thing is always growing and growing. If you heard my backstory, you would understand, like, wow, he literally packaged up his past and now he presented it as his product. That's just what I did. And if I didn't think that way, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So I think that's one lesson is like one thing plus one thing plus one thing. A lot more pluses will equal the thing because it's always expanding. And the moment you figure it out, you'll never have it figured out is when you figured it all out.
Gotcha. All right. Tell us something that you failed at. We all fail, so we want to know what's your biggest failure.
Man, well, it's just so hard because perspective wise, man, it's like, yeah, I fail. Like when I quit my job back in 2018, I thought I was gonna do Facebook ads for artists. Okay, and real quick, I realized I wasn't built for that. Right. So like instantly, like when I tried to do this, I failed just because I wasn't passionate about really doing it like I thought I was, right? So my story, like I come from the music industry, right? I had a record deal with Universal Republic, Dirty N.T. I toured the country nationwide with Bone Thugs and Harmony, legendary group. I'd done a lot of stuff and like I left all that behind. So in a lot of people's eyes, not mine, I failed because I was supposed to do this and this, but like I left it all behind and came back home and started from zero. So embarrassment is just future encouragement. And I really thought at that time, though, I was failing. I was embarrassed. But now I use it as encouragement to show everybody else, dude, I'm tenfold what I'm doing back then to now, right? Like I'm putting my melody and I love it. And I'm a great husband, a great father, and I'm doing all what I love to do with them right there, right? So really failure, man, I just have a different perspective from everyone. If we're talking about failure like that, I mean, those things are kind of failure, but I just think a different way, man. I don't look at it as like that. Even when I'm going through something, I know it's like more glory for my story,
All right. Yeah. And I've watched your videos and I remember, getting a lot from that, embarrassment is just future encouragement. So yeah. I definitely like that. So tell us who your number one mentor or, person you look up to in life or business, so far in your life.
So, as far as like with business, I'm back in 2016. So when I was doing the whole music, touring, like thinking I was supposed to be this superstar, I never was into self-development. I never was into reading, and I was a real bad alcoholic. And when I got sober in 2016, a year later, got into sales and found faith, like I really grew this spiritual connection. I tell people I was go gadget ratchet. Now I somehow overdosed on the Holy Ghost, right? I was even on stage, like talking about I'm a Christian on a mission. And, that slowly died down when I started to feel this connection with the universe, like really deeply, but I needed that start right there. Right. But mentor wise, man, I grew so deeply into self-development. I'm addicted to it. I love reading like psychology and just the self-help books and podcasts. I love an Andy Frisella podcast, a Brad Lee podcast, Ryan Stewman, Tim Grover, Ed Milet, like those type of people I like listening to. I just have those same perspective as them. But when it comes to life, I have a local pastor here that married me and my wife. And, I went to this big church at first and now I go to a very smaller church, but he changed my life. Like he brought me in open arms, sat with me and my wife on marriage counseling. So when I think of mentors, I know a lot of people go after the Andys and the Ed Milets and the Bradleys and, all those type of people. But instantly when you said that, I thought of Pastor Kyle because he's somebody that all the hype, all that shit is out the door. And I think it's very important to have someone personally right next to you that will keep it real to you and not just a yes man, right? Like it's when I see him or when I talk to him, I know it's about improvement and development. So when it comes to one-on-one, it's definitely my Pastor Kyle. He keeps it real with me. Even if I don't reach out to him for months at a time, he just knows. I just know he's always there for wants me to see me better, right? Wants to see me expand. But yeah, I'm a self-development junkie. So I'm out there. If it's a good self-help book, if it's a good psychology book, I'm there.
Awesome, man. All right. So last but not least, tell me about your come up, man. Tell me your story. Tell me a little bit more deeper about, your start in the rap industry.
Yeah. So I'm 28 years old. I'm from St. Louis. So when I was 9 years old, so my dad does music. My sisters do music. Everyone in my family like rapped or my sister was a singer, but they both can rap as well. And when I was 9, we met Ali from the St. Lunatics, and that was Nelly's group. And we're from St. Louis, and that's right when we were growing up and right when they were blowing up. And my dad, being the dude he was, no filter, grabbed him and was like, yo, you need to hear me rap, talking about him. And I was in the back seat, like beatboxing and, just being me. And he looked at my dad. He was like, I don't know about you, but like your son's a star. I see Disney. I see Little Bow Wow. And like he planted that seed into my heart where I was like, I am one, right? I am this guy. And like growing up with soccer, I was that person. And then we started having a relationship with them, and but they blew up. Like Nelly, whoosh, obviously everyone knows who Nelly is, blew up and we lost touch. But that planted the seed in my heart to where I started to build a real big buzz in St. Louis. And as I was growing up and realizing I was this dude, you know, I went to college, little community college. I was a little shithead growing up, like got kicked out of my high schools and stuff like that. So I ended up going a full ride for soccer. I was the soccer guy that rapped, but I was throwing hundreds of people would come to the show. St. Louis, like I was definitely known as Yak Boy Fresh as that guy. And I think a big part of my story is, you know, I went over to England to play soccer for about a month. Came back over, was like, hey, I'm going to take the soccer thing seriously. I'm going to finish this year out of college. I'm going to go back over there and I'm going to do my thing. God had different plans for me. Broke my leg in the third game. The next day, I found out I was having my daughter. Dropped out of school and said, all right, I'm going full-time music. And what I was saying, the big part of my story is this. You never know who is watching, and there is always someone watching. That's why it's so important to be consistent. The same person that seen me when I was 9, seen me when I was 19, 20 years old, Ali, gave me a call. I was at my job. I was a porter at Lufuse Kia, filling up air and tires and cleaning out, the floors and stuff. And he was like, dude, I've been watching you all this time. I want to sign you. Boom. So right there, I thought I got the job as the manager when it was like, dude, you didn't even get the job as the janitor. Had that record deal for 8 months. I was very young, immature, stubborn, naive. And I asked him to let me go because I was still like selling weed out of my mom's basement with a newborn. I thought I was like, I got the deal. What's up? When it's like, you just got the job, right? You're like low level employee. Didn't get that then. Never had like a role model to show me that, because one thing I didn't include is when I was 9, by the time I was like 11 or 12, maybe 13, my dad hit the crack pipe and it was a wrap. He was addicted. He left. We it was me, my mom, and my sisters, and he like started a whole new family. We're cool now today. He's sober today, but it was real big pain point, and that's what music was like, my therapy. But when I got out of that deal, I got new management. I became independent. My hustle turned all the way back up. And then Crazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony heard about me and was like, if he can come out to LA, I'll have a conversation with them. Well, the conversation was, let's listen to a couple songs. He listened to 4 songs, which led to 10 hours of me and him in the studio creating a song called Scraping the Sky, which led to a music video, which led to me touring with them for a whole entire year across the country. And then I ended up in Hollywood. And like I said, my drinking was bad, popping pills, doing stupid shit. And just selling weed here and there. Like I was broke. On the outside, it looked like I was that guy, but on the inside, on the outside, it was the American dream. On the inside, it was like my worst nightmare because my dad was gone. Remember, I have a daughter. I was gone. I was flying first class on a guilt trip for real. So when I'm from a town, Hazelwood, that's in St. Louis, right there next to St. Louis, and I heard, you're Hazelwood, not Hollywood, go back home. You're Hazelwood, not Hollywood, go back home. And it took about 12 to 15 months for me to hear that, and I packed everything up. I told everyone I'm out, I'm gone, and I told my daughter, which is my high school sweetheart, you've held it down for so long for me, I'm coming home. And I came home and I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't want to do stupid stuff to make money. So I started taking like little labor jobs and all this type of shit. And I was that close to being that next breakout type of guy, and already doing all the nationwide tours, already on the, the publications that you need to get into. I was building that name, and especially my digital presence was going, and I gave it all up, man. And I think right there, a lot of people would have said, all right, music isn't supposed to be me, right? So when I came home for the first 6 months, I was ratchet. I mean, just drinking. I totaled my wife's car. Like I should be dead from that situation. Don't remember any of it. And I woke up one day and I went to church hungover, and I was like, this is my last day. June 30th, 2016 was my last day. And still to this day, I haven't took a sip of alcohol because that was my demon. The month after that, I heard about this opportunity where I can make 216% in sales, where I'm selling digital marketing to business owners. So that's how so for the next 2 years, I became the #1 sales rep, had no experience, went in there, I sold them me, because people buy from people, job interviews, all that shit. People buy people. I went in there and said, yo, I'm Joey. I used to go by Yak Boy Fresh. I did this. I'm sober now. I found God, blah, blah, blah. They're like, you're hired. Became the #1 sales rep. Went to one little, and I started talking to these business owners, and like I would get chargebacks, and they would say, hey, Joe, the service just isn't working. We love you, but I was like, don't quit yet. I don't want to get charged back. I'll make you a theme song. It was so easy for me to do that I just gave it to them, or I make them a little logo video or something. I've always been like an editor, creative, and stuff like that. So 2 years comes up though, and I was like, I gotta go. Like something's calling me. And like I went to Mark Lack branding event with my buddy Zach Babcock, and we slept on my boy's floor and out in LA. He bought the tickets. I had a place for us to stay. And that was my first entrepreneur event, and seeing like this world that I never saw before. And I was like, I'm that guy. All right. Like I'm him. I just don't have his money yet, and I just haven't built my brand yet. So with that being said, within 6 months, I jumped, I quit, thought I was going to run Facebook ads. And then I made an intro for Zach Babcock. And like, I was like, man, my melody, your message, like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And then I did it for Billie Jean and Bradley and Cole Hatter and Garrett J. White and Tim Grover and Casey Adams, which led me to do a song about Gary V's 003 shoe, Clouds and Dirt. And like, I never asked for permission. That's the big thing. I just started creating and creating and giving and giving and giving and, swiping credit cards and getting out to these places and showing them, I'm Joey Yak. Like I am somebody. And obviously I have this story. Our story is our biggest asset, right? Like, and I knew that. I just knew it. And I have testimony videos. Like I'm just so big. I believe there's victory in being vulnerable. And I just feel like when you're vulnerable, you can really touch somebody, because we're all human and we all feel a lot of the same shit, especially when you're talking your ideal demographic. So at the end of 2018, though, I won't lie, I was building and burning. First time growing a business. Garrett J. White owns a company called Wake Up Warrior. And he heard me and he was like, dude, I don't know what, like, you're supposed to be in my world. And he took me on in 2019 as an intrapreneur. He contracted me to do all his social media and his content creation. And he really showed me what abundance felt like with the type of money that he was giving to me. And at the end of 2019, he told me, hey, it's time for you to fly. You are your own king, which I truly felt. At first, I was a little bitter. And then, like I always say, being bitter won't make me better. So I truly felt, you know what? This is real. Like it is my time to shine. And in the beginning of this year, man, like I've doubled what money I was making with him every single month, even tripled sometimes, to putting my melody to people's messages. And that's what I'm doing now, man. It's one of those things where when I look back at my story, it's like, wow, like, I added all of my past up. I packaged up my past and presented it as my product. And I think a lot of people have that ability, even if your gift is communication, right? Or you could package that up and that is your product. And, I know you're in the mortgage and real estate industry, and just people not showing up consistently, because that's what it is. You have to bring people into your frame, into your perspective, into your world, because you and I live on the same planet, but you and I don't live in the same world. So you have to bring them into your world to speak your language. And that's that, man. I have a buddy that, I'll let you, I know I just talked for a long time and I'll let you jump in. But, I have a buddy named Brandon McNamee that is a real estate agent. He's a real estate agent, and his whole thing is selling homes and drinking beer, right? He does beer reviews. We have a group now that has 60,000 people that's mostly local. And now like we make that a marketing plan of going to bar owners and like getting our group out there. It's like you can monetize you. Like people buy from you. Like I'm going to buy my house from him just because it's like, oh, Brandon, he's on top of mind. How are you staying on top of mind of the person trying to buy a house or trying to get a loan? I just partnered with Zango. They're a big company out in Texas. And I just did a mortgage song for them. And I just made I'm on a mission for commission marketing song for them. Like there are so many ways for you to stand out. And I'm doing it for your guys' industry right now.
Absolutely. And that's like I said, that's why I brought you in here, because, I see what value you can bring to loan officers and real estate agents, because in such a, tough business with so much competition, you got to make yourself, you got to put yourself out there. Absolutely. So, speaking of Zach, we actually have him coming on the show in June sometime. So I'm happy that I was able to book him to come on and talk to us about him just crushing it with podcasts.
Yeah.
He's definitely been, crushing it there. So, basically, tell the people a little bit about, what they can do to set themselves apart in marketing, obviously besides, hiring a guy like you that can help them crush it. But, what do you suggest out there that they can do to, put themselves out there?
Yeah. So here's what I would do, and I'm someone that does like really big shit. That's my mindset. Like I want to do big shit, but like this year really showed that like simple is sexy. Like small is sexy. Like right here, this thing right here, this little phone, I'm telling you, you can do so much with just this phone, right? I have a little course that I give away for $97 on showing you how to record properly on your phone, how to make those cool influencer type of videos. Because I know a lot of people, some people don't have the money to hire people like me and my team. So it's like, you can do this shit yourself. It doesn't have to be sexy because small is sexy. Simple is sexy. Record on your phone, learn how to do these influencer videos and provide value, especially in the mortgage and real estate. If you're a real estate agent, you can go to, say you are selling in you have a couple houses in a particular neighborhood. Why wouldn't you go to those local spots and show people like a local spot or a park, or like get creative and say like, what are these people around here going to want to see? It's not just about the house either, but I'm telling you, get on this camera, bring people into your world. It doesn't have to you don't have to have millions of hours of equipment. You don't even have to have thousands of hours. Everyone has a phone. Go live. I don't even do live because obviously I know how to create my own content and edit and everything. But another thing is, you already know the BB backyard business. I do everything that I do in my backyard in a 10 by 12 shed. I'm telling you guys, and I'm making a lot of money by doing what I love, by making a profit for my passion. But I wouldn't have been able to do that because a lot of people that think they have to do something, they think like, oh, I got to do it this way. Well, if you don't go do it in that damn BB, in that shed, you're not going to go do it on the 28th floor. So start small, start simple, and start with this damn phone. I'm telling you, if you did a video every other day for 30 days, I'm telling you, people will start drawing to you. People will start actually seeing the value that you provide. Now, yeah, you have to have value. You can't just get on there and talk some shit. You have to make some damn sense of it. And if you come through me and, learn how to do these videos, the first 5 videos, I'll consult with you. I'll help you get creative. I want people to start picking up this damn phone and recording them because there's value in doing videos. 80%, everyone's watching videos everywhere around. But I think, and here's one thing that's very important, something so fantastic soon becomes familiar. Okay. So when I was doing music and just rapping, just to rap for myself, the moment that I started doing it for other people, I was like, damn, I am pretty fantastic at this. In a humble way, I am fantastic, but it's familiar to me. When I come inside from the BB and, talk to my kids and my wife, like, listen to this. They're not like, holy shit. They're like, that's dope, because it's familiar to them. So I'm here to let you guys know that you are fantastic. What you do is fantastic. You're just so used to the habit that it's became familiar to you, right? So you need to make sure that you align yourself with other people that make sure that you know that what you're doing, not a whole bunch of yes man and hyping you up, but I'm telling you, what you do is fantastic. Don't let it become familiar, period.
Absolutely, dude. And how can people follow you? Because I enjoy your backyard business videos, rolling up to your shed on your lawnmower and
I'm right.
all that.
Dude, I'm personal, man. So it's, I have Joey.Yak at Instagram, or Joey Yak Pieper, Pieper on Facebook, or just Joey Yak on Facebook as well. I'm not on Twitter, but I'm one of them guys, man. Hit me up in my DM, hit me up in my inbox, and I'm willing to just consult with you and talk with you. I don't even care if you use me like that. I'm just, hopefully by now people can see like my heart's in it, my soul's in it, my energy's in it, and I just really want to see people win. Because I've realized, man, the more people, we all can win. There is enough for all of us. I've grown into this life with abundance, and it's just, man, it's a beautiful thing because I come from scarcity. So feeling abundance, there's enough for all of us, man.
Awesome. Yeah. And that, when we talked, it was a couple months ago when I asked you to be a part of this, I watched some of your videos and seen your passion and your energy. And that's why I wanted to bring you on here. Cause that's something you can see in your work is something that you love doing and you know what you're doing. So, that really, attracted me to what you have going on for sure.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
So, and what else you got? You got anything else you want to share with the audience?
Man, I think really it's just like if everyone's on here with the real estate and mortgage industry, it's, what are you doing to help yourself stand out? Like, period. We can bring people to you and shoot video if you're like one of those people that, there's levels to this. Like, if you're someone that doesn't have a lot of money, pick up this cell phone and start doing it. Even if you have a lot of money, you can do that. But also, me and Ryan Stewman own a company where we have videographers in every city that will come to you and shoot once a month. And you'll have like 10 pieces of content for the whole entire month. And it only takes about 2 to 3 hours, right? So I don't want to over talk and, but you guys got it. How are you going to stand out? I can create songs for you. Yes. Awesome. But like, you have to have ways on standing out, or I'm telling you, you're just going to get trapped in this big ocean with a whole bunch of sharks, right? Like what is making you stand out? Like I said earlier, my buddy Brandon, what's making him stand out is he's being him. I sell homes and I drink beer. Like, when he closes people, he takes a picture with them with a natty can. Like, they sit there and drink. Like, what is making you stand out? There's people that are like, I want to go with Brandon because I want to close and drink that beer with him, So it
Right.
can be, you have to be you. Who are you?
I think that's changed a lot in, every industry. Is, 10, 15 years ago, it was suit and tie and,
and that damn headshot.
Yeah. And it's like, people want to, call somebody and close a home with somebody that's drinking beer and hanging out. It's going to be a real person rather than somebody that's, got their tie on and is, just going to feed them a line. So,
dude, social media is your business card now. People are like, what's your business card? I'm like, nah, bro, give me your phone. And I'll go put on Facebook, add friend. People think like they're real professional because they have a business card. Follow me, come into my world. Come into my world. I don't want no, like, what? You're going to grab my business card and throw it down? Nuh-uh. I'm going to have you hit add friend. I'm going to have you follow me, and you're going to see what's good. And now you're in my frame. You're in my world. You're in my perspective, and I get to deliver whatever value I want to deliver to you. I'm telling you, people buy from people, and when you are the authority in your marketplace, people will choose you. How are you staying on top of their mind? If you're not utilizing social media, if you're not utilizing video, you're behind.
Absolutely. And we did have one question from Cade. Can you drop a link for that tutorial, the $97 tutorial when we're done here? Can you drop a link for that in the Facebook group?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
So he can check that out.
And I have it for Android users, or I have it for iPhone users, just because there's two different programs. Like, if you're a Mac person, you need to have this software. If you're Android, you need to have this software. So if I'll drop it in there. But even if he wants to reach out to me, if he's watching this right now, hit me up, dude. Just click my page. I'll see you, message me, and we can chop it up.
All right, man. Business out of the way. Let's talk touring.
Yeah.
Tell me what's the craziest story you got from touring with Bone Thugs and Harmony. Now, let me preface this with telling you my first concert I ever went to was Bone Thugs. Okay, I think it was like a week or two before the concert. One of them got thrown in jail for lifting an old lady's purse. Okay. And me and my buddy were like, man, he's supposed to be on tour. We're supposed to go see him in concert. He better get out. So he got out in time to make it. But, I just wanted to, hear your side of them. That was probably back in 97, 98 when I seen them.
Dude, so two stories. One, like, about them is we're in Brooklyn and Busy Bone comes running out of the hotel room, like running out of the front of the hotel in nothing but like this white robe with nothing on, like with white slippers, and just running, and had these eyes like, yak, got the yak, and just screaming. And I looked at my manager. I was like, we got to get away from this dude. He was so geeked out. It was insane. Obviously, there's some other inappropriate shit, but another event, man, is when we just got home from the tour. And I had this idea that I wanted to drive the tour bus. And I totaled that motherfucker. Drunk. I crashed that damn thing, and my manager was so mad. Instantly, when you say thoughts about touring, that right there comes about of me crashing that tour bus. It was
that
bad.
sounds like that probably happens on every tour.
For sure. You better have a driver.
There's one Joey Yak on every tour that decides to drive the tour bus.
Yeah, luckily that's not me no more. That guy died.
That's awesome, dude. So, tell me your best memory from being on the road with those guys, just in general.
Best memory was sitting down with three of them. It was Crazy. God, who was it? I know it was Crazy. Wish. Wasn't Lazy. And we just sat there and talked. And Crazy Bone looked at me and said, we're out here chasing the devil. And I said, what? He said, we're out here chasing the devil. Like B.O.B. said it too. He was rapping. He said, I remember when I was rapping for the hell of it. Nowadays, I'm rapping to stay relevant. And it was that memory right there where it's like, you start doing something because you love it. And then you get to a point where you have to do it to maintain it. And like, if you aren't being you all the way and you get to that point where you have to maintain it, you'll start to hate it. So when he said, Yak, we're out here chasing the devil, because they were somebody, yeah, they're legendary and shit, but like they're having to maintain who they are. And it just showed me that I wasn't being like, I wasn't supposed to tour with Bone. Like I say that in one of my videos, what life taught me about touring with Bone Thugs and Harmony in business and life is, it wasn't my demographic. I was really young. I was younger. And I was supposed to tour with like Justin Bieber or something. And it just showed me that like, if I go this route with the people that I'm around and everything, like I'm going to be chasing this devil and it's going to continue and remain my worst nightmare. So it was actually like a real knowledge bomb he dropped on me. And that's what I took from it. And it just like, I was like, wow, this shit's real.
So they've been around when you were on tour with them. I mean, they've been around at the peak of their career at that time, right? So the demographic was probably
it was in the young 30s and up. So like right. Me being a 21, 22, 23-year-old white kid, it's like, you gotta show up, dude. You gotta show up and show out every single time. And I did my thing. But it was good that I got the respect from like OGs like that. And like, even with Nelly and Ali and all them. But it definitely wasn't my demographic, but we just jumped on the idea because we took action like that.
Right. So where are you located now? Are you in Texas?
No, St. Louis.
Oh, you're still in St. Louis?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll probably stay here forever.
All right. So I'm up here in Iowa, not too far from you. So when are you going to get Nelly on the hook for like, putting together a small concert for the local area? I know he was up here in Iowa not that long ago.
He did it not too long. Well, there was one year. I mean, that dude gets paid so much money. He's not going to do that shit unless he gets paid so much money. He's not going to. And it's, I'm not one of those guys that act like just for like clout and stuff to be like, yo, Nelly's my guy. Like me and him don't communicate at all. Me and Ali communicate sometimes. But he did a free show. I think the city paid him, but it was free for people to go, and did like 60, 70,000 people that were downtown. It was amazing, man.
Yeah. I remember, it's funny because, I'm 42. So when you're talking about the demographic of Bone and Nelly, that's kind of, that was me. Absolutely. So,
right.
Like I said, Bone Thugs and Harmony was, part of my first concert, and it was crazy because it started out with MC Ren.
Yeah.
And then it was SWV, and then Keith Sweat.
Keith Sweat's the shit.
And then Bone Thugs. So there was, speaking about demographics being messed up, I mean, you think about that lineup, and you had, probably 40, 50-year-old couples there to see Keith Sweat.
Yeah.
And the first song that they come out with was MC Ren, Fuck the Police.
That's funny.
And, I'm looking around, being young, I'm looking around at these people, and their faces are just like,
all right.
What am I doing here?
Right.
They put up with, like you said, the demographics were different in that concert, from the opening act, all the way through to the end. So it was just, crazy to see people there to see Keith Sweat and, have to listen to MC Ren.
Right. That's funny.
Or, SWV's a little bit, more in that realm. But it was just funny. But they could leave after Keith Sweat. Just, they didn't have to stay for Bone Thugs. But
All right.
MC opening it up with that was just, mind blowing.
Yeah, Keith Sweat, man. Keith Sweat's a beast.
Yeah, that was definitely good times. So, other than that, man, I mean, anybody got questions for Joey?
Yeah, I'm not looking at the live, so I don't.
I'm just checking here to see if anybody's got a question for you.
I seen the one that Cade had. Man, I like how you can go live in here. Yeah, for Cade, I think Cade was the only one. I'll definitely get him the link to that tutorial.
Awesome. Yeah, man. And yeah, if you're on Zoom calls, you can definitely go live on Facebook. It's not too difficult. And I think YouTube, you can go live on YouTube too. So you have to check that out.
For sure.
Awesome, man. Well, that's all I have for you. I appreciate you coming on and joining us. And hopefully you brought some help to the audience. And if they have more questions, they can reach out to you.
Yeah, reach out to me. When it comes to content creation of you being on camera or just getting videos created and just crafting your message, man, it's so important today. And to make sure that your Facebook, your Instagram is your resume, like that is your personal business card. So take it seriously. There's somebody watching, even when you don't think that you're watching,
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, definitely. I'll have to reach out sooner than later and get a banger for the Build Your Empire brand.
Absolutely. We don't make jingles. We make bangers, baby.
Awesome, man. On that note, I appreciate it. Have a good day.
All right, bro. You too.